So today I want to talk a little bit about some of the things that I noticed, in my own communities, right? This is quite funny. I wanted to talk about it. I wanted to put it on a video, so it stays there forever. Right? Whether I'm here or not, at least this video is going to stay here forever. All right. Like human nature is indirectly, like, none of these, I don't think any people mean for this, but I think it happens quite indirectly. It's just part of their nature. It's just how they've been kind of modeled, right? It's just how the people are wired. It's so weird, right? It's so weird, right? So, I have multiple communities that I interact with, right? For various reasons. It could be gaming, it could be development talk, it could be just crypto chats, it could be pump signals, you never know, right? I'm in multiple different groups. I'm like a ninja in some of them. Other the groups, I'm very vocal, right? Because people want my opinions. They like me, so they'll give my opinions, right? And then you get some new people coming in, and when you talk about like, oh guys, look, I've just launched a cryptocurrency called No Central, and I'm planning loads of different things for this, right? So I did it in reverse, where normally people do the planning and then they launch a cryptocurrency. I've done the opposite. I've launched a cryptocurrency and now I'm doing the freaking planning, right? That's just how I am. But the reason why, and I'll explain to you, right? So, some guys come up, so where are you from? I'm like, okay, carry on. Let me, we wait for the questions to come in, right? And I wanted to get it all together and then drop it, right? Another person's like, so what's your background and this and that and everything, right? I was like, wow, okay, so multiple questions, right? You can imagine any type of question a person would ask someone, right? And you got to put it in context. It's like, okay, you didn't ask me where I'm from when you first met me. You didn't ask me what my background was when you first met me. You didn't ask me what my family heritage is when you first met me, right? Obviously you theorized, right? Or you assumed something, right? But now you really want to know who I am, right? Well, I'll tell you who I really am, right? And I hope this video answers it all for everybody. This is actually going to go as an answer, right? I am a individual, unique human being. Okay, my race, my creed, everything defines only one thing. I am a human being, right? I have morals, right? I have, empathy. I have compassion. That's who I am, right? So I wanted to drop this in there because a lot of people, like, it's so stupid. I'm like, I understand where it's coming from. Listen, I wasn't born yesterday, right? I've been in this game for a very long time. I've been through the phases where, the area I was raised up in, right? You probably hear the way I'm talking. There's a reason I'm kind of streetwise. There's a reason behind this, right? Where I was raised, and most of my friends are following me on YouTube and XYZ, right? They're probably the ones that watch the videos all the time. And I'll tell you this, right? The area I was raised in the central London was one of the most violent areas you can ever get. And the violence was only from racial discrimination. So this is what I was brought up in, right? Got plenty of scars on my body to prove what I've come from, right? It was a freaking gutter. You understand? You couldn't walk down the street, do your own thing, right? Unless someone's going to attack you, right? So that's how it was. It was so freaking crazy. That's what I was kind of brought up in a ghetto, right? I was kind of brought up in a ghetto. But I got out of that, when I had my own family and everything. I said, well, I don't want this lifestyle. I want to move out. So that's what it is, right? So, and I wanted a better life, and always been kind of entrepreneurial anyway. So I just kind of moved away. But the point is you get all of this, and I was like, you have no idea what I've seen and what I've, witnessed, right? What's happened to me and all the stuff that, around like friends and family that I know about, right? You have no idea. So every question you're asking me, I can see where it's coming from. You're judging me. You're just decided to judge me. Okay, there's a brown boy, Asian boy. He's created a cryptocurrency. He's got a YouTube channel. He's on all over the place. He's doing this. Do we trust him? Do we not? Isn't that the question, right? Okay. How many followers does he have? If he's got 500,000 subscribers, maybe we do follow him and maybe we do this. That's what you're thinking, right? This guy's talking about doing this cryptocurrency and XYZ. He launched it. Now he's planning to do it and he's trying to engage with the community. Well, is it real, right? We just want the freebies, right? We just want the airdrop. Maybe it's nothing, right? So I'm looking at all of this. I'm like, seriously? You guys are going to judge me on who I am and what I do and how I come about? I'm in your face. That's the whole thing. You just don't respect the fact that I'm in your face, right? I'll tell you how it is. I don't hold back. So that's because that's the kind of nature I was raised in. That's the kind of situation I was in when I was younger, where you got to confront your problems, right? You don't deal with your problems there and then, they're going to haunt you forever, right? You're going to bow down to a bully. Guess what? He's going to bully you forever, and all of his mates are going to bully you too, right? So you stand up for your things, right? That's what you do. You stand up for your right. I had a business once, and someone come up to me and says, you're in the hospitality business. Do you know customer is always right? I said, fuck you, fuck yourself, and fuck all the customers. I'll rather close this business before a customer is always right, because I'm doing my business here. I don't want you to tell me that you're right, because how can you be right if you've come here for my service, right? You're only right at the end of it when it comes to pay the bill, right? If it didn't taste good, if it didn't do something, if the product didn't function as it is, then you're right. But until then, let me do my thing, because that's what you come here for. Do you get my point, right? So that's how it was. That's how I've always been. I was like, no, fuck it. It doesn't work like this, right? You are right to a certain extent only when it comes for you to pay for the goods, right? If you've paid for the goods and the goods wasn't sufficient enough, I will do my best customer service, like give you a refund, whatever. But don't come and tell me what needs to be done or what I need to do or how it needs to be done. You have no idea. You come to my place for my service, right? Does that make sense, right? So that's just how I am, just a unique individual human. That's who I am. I'm a unique individual human. I have my own signatures. Believe me, if you don't know, you can go and get me tested out. I have my own unique DNA. Right? I have my own unique DNA. Yes, we all share DNAs, but I have my own unique signature. That defines me to be the most different person on this planet, right, than everybody else. And you too. Everybody is a unique individual human, right? Your color, your race, your creed, your racial background, your ethnic background, none of that matters. And when it does matter to people, you're a freaking racist, right? Sorry, I don't want to use that word, it's wrong, but that's the truth. There's only one race, guys, which, you should understand this. There's only one race. Unless you're a freaking alien like me, there's only one race. You're humans. So I know I was getting excited there, but look, that's what it is. And I don't mean anything here. I don't mean to offend anybody or anything like this. But I just wanted to point things out. It's like people think you're so gullible. Maybe I am, right? But the point is I'm not stupid. I wasn't born yesterday, right? When I see someone who's interacted with me for a long, long time, and then all of a sudden turns around, it's like, oh, who are you? By the way, what do you do? Or by the way, what's your background? What's your profession? What's this? I'm like, all right, so now you want to ask me questions? So now you want to judge me for what I've done? Are you serious? Okay, fine. Here's a few facts. I'm not hiding. Here's a few facts. I'm in the videos. I'm talking about it. I'm promoting it through my videos. Here's a few facts. You're hearing me exactly as I am. I'm not trying to sweeten up the pie a little bit, right? These are facts, right? These are facts, right? So anyway, that's that, right? So, but yeah, communities, it's just so stupid when, and you know what? I've decided now, honestly, I'm not even joking, right? And no central is one of those kind of things. Like, look, centralization, right? Freaking hate it. I freaking hate it. It's freaking annoying, right? Just too many people with one narrative, right? And the very same people come in and do whatever and harm people, right? Especially the retail investors and this and that, right? Because they have no idea what's really going on and they get shafted, right? They get shafted. Hence why I created No Central out of anger and, from impulse, as I mentioned many, many times before. But I don't want to talk about what I did in the past. I want to talk about what I'm going to do now, right? So I'm sitting down, I'm creating logos, I'm creating website designs, I'm creating all of these things, right? I haven't bought a website yet, but I'm going to create a website. I'm going to do all of those bits and bobs, and get the community to see that, look, there's work going on. Doesn't matter how it started, what matters is how it ends, right? That's the most important thing, right? And I didn't want to be the guy in the shadow, right? That's the easy thing to do. Guys, that's the easiest thing to do. I've mentioned it so many times, right? I made a logo today, and believe it or not, and I'm being totally transparent here, when I created the logo, I had a reference image of around 6 different meme tokens. I like meme token logos, right? Come on, you can't deny that, right? Meme token logos are some of the best logos I've ever seen. They're cartoony, they're funny, they're really nice, right? So I had 6 of them as my reference, right? Including Shiba Inu and what XYZ. Had them as my reference, and I started drawing, right, manually drawing my own little piece of work, with some similarities and a lot of differences. And I did that, and I said, right, here's a few logos. I created like about 9 versions of it, and I said, all right, there's 9 iterations. Let's have a look. Pretty much the same thing, but different color, a few slight changes here and there. And it looked great, and I thought, that looks great, right? I'm going to ask the community what the community thinks, right? And I'm talking about my immediate community, not the new communities, right? Which I'm going to send to later on anyway. So I sent it over and I said, guys, let me know what you think. Pick one, right? Pick one. I'm trying to get some votes and whatnot, right? No response. I'm like, what the fuck? No response? Okay, fine. Fuck you. I'm going to do it myself. So that's the thing. I'm doing things as I please because I'm trying to do something for the community. I'm trying to do something for the community, right? Get a project out there, do something so the community can turn around and say, we own that. We were part of this. We're the OGs. We were the original people who had this. I'm giving all of those opportunities, right? And I get nothing. Wow. I'm like, wow. There's like 100 and something people there. Nothing. Wow. Okay, fair play. Carry on. I'll just carry on doing my own thing. So that's what I'm saying. It's easier for me to be anonymous. If I did that as an anonymous person, right, with bad intentions, to take your money, rob your money, do whatever from you, I'm sure I would have got a lot more attraction because I'm anonymous. It's like that guy. There was this one guy who sold this NFT project, right? And he sold it for some serious next level money, right? And then he was being interviewed by a bunch of top level YouTubers, right? And I'm wondering, how did they get connection to him? Anyway, they did, right? Whatever. And they're sitting there filming him and XYZ. And the entire time he had a bloody mask on his face. Why? Because he doesn't want to show his face. What you got to hide? What you got to hide? You make $1 million, $10 million, $20 million. What you got to hide? That's what I don't understand this. What you got to, you made money, great. Or are you trying to hide something else there, right? Are you part of something else that, you're going to rinse and repeat and do, so you don't want your face showing up and everything? That's what it is. So, and I'm sure this same group has been involved in doing other stuff, or the same individual has been involved in other stuff, right? I can guarantee you, because they're hiding their face. That's what it is, right? I'm telling you, it's unbelievable. I've seen plenty of other YouTubers and influencers or whatever come around, hide their faces. When they hide their faces, they're doing brilliant, right? Is that what you guys want, right? Honestly, so I'm kind of venting a little bit, right? But is that what you really want, right? Honestly, if that's what you want, by all means, that, those 2 million scam coins and shit coins out there, I could definitely add myself as part of that. But what I want you to really appreciate is I'm not doing none of that. Honestly, because I don't have the greed or the intention to make any money. I just want a successful project. Is that too much to ask? I just want community to be involved. Is that too much to ask? Honestly, is that too much to ask? Because it feels like it is. It feels like it's a burden. It's a burden. I don't even know why I do this. Honestly, because I'm doing this for the betterment of the area. Anyway, of course, listen, all of you guys who are coming for your free airdrops, you're going to get your free airdrops, right? You get your free airdrops. In fact, I'll create some value and I'll give you the airdrop. Go and do whatever you want, right? Go and do whatever you want. Honestly, it's hopeless. It is absolutely hopeless. Talking to the community, trying to get the community together to do something. Communities seem to prefer hypes, dopamine, and no face, anonymous projects. If that's what you, by all means, I could go out there tomorrow and drop 100 of them. And it's like a fishing rod, right? I'll go and drop my fishing rods, put 100 of them down there, and you guys snap and boom, I start taking your money. Is that what you want? So silly and so stupid, I'm telling you. I know you guys are probably thinking, what the fuck is wrong with this guy, right? Nothing, I'm telling you, absolutely nothing. It's just when I see the psychology of people, right? And when I see that people just don't understand who I am. I mean, how much more do you want? Most of the people who are the original OGs of paradexes, right? The original channel holders, they can vouch for this, right? They can vouch for this. I have never, ever asked them for anything. Never. right? I've given opportunities. I said, guys, there's opportunities out there. If you want to take it, by all means. People don't take it, that's none of my business. I go there, I do my thing, and I'm gone, right? But other than that, I've never ever asked anybody for anything, right? How crazy is that, right? And a lot of people, if they did the right things, if they followed all the instructions that I've given to them, especially on market cycles, I mean, you've made a lot of money. You've made a lot of money. You know, I've always given you the other narrative, right? You've made a lot of money. Actually, talking about our other narrative, yesterday, I made a few changes on YouTube. I changed how the layout is. So when you come to view the channel, because a lot of new people are coming to view the channel, and they might see a lot of mess up, because I used to do a lot of live streams, by the way. So they might see a lot of mess. So I thought, okay, I'm not doing live streams anymore, so I don't need that to be my first row. I'd rather put my latest videos and whatnot, or popular videos there, so people can go and appreciate those things, right? So I changed the whole little thing. And then I asked AI, right? I asked ChatGPT. I said, look, my channel is called Paradexes, but I would like to add something or make it more interesting, right? And believe this or not, ChatGPT just said to me, call it Paradexes Unleashed, and actually gave me a whole intro. I was like, whoa. So I actually put that intro into the description of the channel. It's brilliant. I was like, wow, this is freaking brilliant. So ChatGPT is doing fantastic. So that's what I did with ChatGPT. So the name, when you see Paradexes Unleashed, it's actually not me, it's actually an AI suggestion, and it was brilliant. I was like, wow, okay, this makes sense, right? Because that's what it is. I don't do normal stuff. I don't do traditional stuff, right? I could be sitting here 1 minute, right? You know, skies are blue, everything is good, and then all of a sudden thunderstorms, right? Lightning, you know, do you know what I mean? I could be like this, right? So as you can see, if you've watched it till now, in the beginning I already had a go at everybody, and now I'm back to normal, right? So this is how it is. But yeah, so I would listen. I'm not gonna beg anybody. I'm not gonna tell anybody, right? I don't give a shit anymore, right? Honestly, I've gone to the point where I've stopped giving a fuck. And that's where it's taking me. So everything that's led to this video is got to the point where I'm starting to say to myself, I said, do I really give a shit anymore, right? I need to stop giving a shit about people and start thinking about myself, right? You know, my wants, my needs, my anything I want, I need to start thinking about that. Because when I'm thinking about other people, I'm trying to give, but I don't seem to even get 1% back. I'm like, fuck this shit, right? So anyway, this one I'm gonna do, see where it goes. This is gonna be an interesting one. That's gonna be really interesting. But other than that, guys, let's jump into the charts. I've just done a drive, like 20-mile drive on the motorway. Let's just do some of the charts. Well, I'm not gonna do charts, but what I am gonna do is talk about them, right? Because I'm not, listen, this video is not being edited. I'm still driving, and while I drive, I might make a description and a title and just post it, right? That's how it is. I don't really bother too much with edits and this and that, add charts later and this and nonsense. But sometimes I do when I got a bit of free time, but right now I ain't got no free time. So looking at the market today, we're currently at $1.6 trillion, so still holding at $1.6 trillion. However, the market is a little bit shaky right now. BTC currently sitting at $44,045, so it is looking a bit shaky, hence why, you know, the market cap isn't exactly where it needs to be. We did go up to, I think, 1.62 or 1.61 trillion dollars, which is really, really good. But again, I haven't looked at the charts since I looked at it last night. So whatever I'm seeing now is since the last video that I did. This is the first time I'm seeing the charts, right? I don't sit in front of a chart all day long because I use alerts, right? So for me, when I'm navigating the market to make life easier in my busy lifestyle, I just use alerts to do what needs to be done, right? That's how I get notified of what the market movements are. Polkadot doing good at $7.26. Not complaining, not the best, but it's okay. Solana's done the best performance, and now it's kind of taking a little bit of a dip. It did go to, I think, about $75, $74.55 right now. I ain't complaining, right? Ethereum sitting at 2,355. Again, I'm not complaining. It's above that threshold, but it is not doing the best, right? Again, it's pumped. and then it's kind of gone, like, you know, it's just holding back for whatever reason, right? And I do know there is an Ethereum upgrade coming soon. Maybe that might make a bit of difference, whatnot. But I think when Ethereum does move, it's just going to move the entire market as usual, as I say, right? Ethereum's like kind of the leader, the pack leader of all the altcoins, right? You know, some altcoins will rally and pump and do whatever. Like Solana, for example, it's its own independent coin, right? It will do its rally, it will pump, but it will get bigger pushes, bigger pumps when Ethereum finally moves, right? Now, I know a lot of this liquidity in Solana and XYZ, right, have come from coins like Ethereum, right? And they're going to go back in at some stage. I'm just waiting to see when it happens, right? So that's going to be really, really interesting. But yeah, other than that, look, most of the coins in the market have decided to kind of move. I mean, when I start looking at, where is it? Give me a second. Right, when I start looking at Cardano, I can see Cardano moved. It's currently at 59 cents, which is really, really good. I'll come back to this, right? So I see SHIB here on my list, and this is way back from 2021, you know, the time when they launched, right? This is way back from them. So I do have the chart flag there. That's the e-gold is at $55, brilliant. KCS at $9.69. Remember, previous cycle, KCS was above $50-$60, right? So the potential is there, right? There's other shit coins there. I'm not going to look too much. AVAX is doing brilliant. It's at $32 right now. Again, that coin was below like $10 or something weird like that, right? So look where it is now, right? People got to look at these things. I haven't looked at AVAX because I've had AVAX kind of since the beginning, so not the beginning. I can't remember what price I bought it at, but it was dirt cheap, right? And I held it the entire time, the entire bull market I held it, and the entire bear market I held it. I didn't top up. I didn't need to, I didn't want to, right? But I'm still holding on to it. And the other reason I don't look at it is because it's actually not in one of my usual wallets. It's part of my hodling portfolio. That's AVAX, right? Can you imagine that's AVAX, right? It's part of my hodling portfolio. I mean, I'm looking at some of the other shit coins, right? For example, 1inch and this and that. I've lost a lot of money on 1inch, to be honest, currently sitting at 41 cents. I've lost a lot of shit money. I can now kind of buy some and then probably just ride it up. But anything I do, I wouldn't do right now. I'm going to wait for the correction to happen, which is due anytime soon. So when that does happen, I'll see how it goes. Matic is doing fantastic, guys. Look, Matic is doing fantastic. A lot of people just don't see it. Matic is doing fantastic. I've mentioned Matic many, many times, right? Matic is doing fantastic. It's at 90 cents right now. It's at 90 cents right now, right? And when it pops, it's going to pop. When it pops, it will definitely pop. Uniswap recovering now. Again, another shit coin, right? I did lose quite a bit. Well, I didn't lose actually. I bought Uniswap in the beginning, then I sold at the top or closer to the top. But I took my initial out, and then I had the kind of profit still there. And then during the collapse, I did kind of cash out a little bit, but the remaining went down. So I did it. All I lost was my profit, basically. Some of my profit, not all of the profit, right? That was that. So yeah, I mean, look, there's plenty of other shit coins there. I can go through the entire list, but no point talking about them. I mean, Anchor is fantastic. Anchor's at $10 right now. Anchor, remember, Cosmos Chain, one of the best projects out there. A lot of decentralized exchanges have been built using the Anchor protocol, right? So think about that. I'm sorry, not the Anchor, so the Atom protocol, the Cosmos protocol, right? The Cosmos SDK. They're making apps and whatnot. So the team out there, they're doing some brilliant job. They haven't really stopped, and it's one of the old school projects, right? Cosmos is not a new project. It's way before most of the scaling solutions that Ethereum had. This was the one that was not planning to scale anything, but planning to build on Ethereum and make it easier for people. So think about that, right? That's there. There was one coin that has surprised me. Funny thing is, I never sold. So bakery token, right? Bakery token. So I've got a whole bunch of bakery token, and I've had it for God knows how long. I never sold it. It went up, rode up, went down. The reason I didn't sell it was, there's another reason as well. I got it as an airdrop or something free, right? Something silly. And I did something, I don't know, I forgot what it was, but it was free. I didn't pay for it, right? And it went up to, I remember at some stage, it went to some silly amount, right? Ridiculous, like I did like 100x on it or some stupid amount like that. But I never sold it, I just left it there. Bakery, I'm not that interested in it. I haven't used their protocol for a very long time. and it's just there, it just sits there, right? But again, most of the coins that I've received for free, I don't go around dumping them, right? I mean, support the projects, guys. You don't dump the coins on the people, right? Hold on to it and see what happens. And I'll see it come back now, and I'm like, whoa, okay, this is good. This is good. It's actually about 5x away from its all-time high. That's not bad. That's not bad. Compared to some of the projects who still have like 9x remaining to go to the all-time high. Bakery is doing fantastic. So that's Bakery, right? And then there are obviously other shit coins there. Plenty of shit coins there. So there are loads of opportunities. And if we are expecting a correction, if it does come, then these same coins could be bought for cheap, right? These same coins could be bought for cheap. But guys, buying, selling, trading, leverage, whatever you want to do, one thing you have to do every now and then, right? Every now and then, take a step back. Take a step back and just try and assess your current financial situation. Take a step back and say, did I just invest too much? Am I risking too much of my wealth? If I am, then I'm going to stop. I'm going to take a break for a month. I'm going to take a break for 2 weeks, right? I'm going to take a break for 2 months, X, Y, Z, right? Make a decision and do it. You won't regret it. You won't regret it, right? You'll thank me later. But that's the point, right? Sometimes you got to just take a break and say, right, okay, I've done enough. I've made profits. I need to cash out my profits, right? Because profit taking is very important, right? So I'm going to cash out my profits, and then I'm going to carry on, and whatever needs to happen, I'm going to do that, right? So sometimes just take a break and reassess your situation, your financial situation. Do you need the funds? Do you need the funds in 6 months? Do you need the funds in the next year? You know, whatever you need, and rebalance, right? Because rebalancing is very, very important, because a lot of people don't do that. They just go one direction, right? So they'll constantly, you know, whether if they're buying spot or they're trading, whatever they're doing, they just go one direction, and that's a bad thing, right? So remember, that's a very, very bad thing. Don't do things one direction. You got to have a two-way network, right? Where you're able to get in and get out, you know, and make profits, right? Obviously, you don't do it when you're losing. I've always said this, like, if you lost money, don't give up, right? If you've lost money, don't give up. Even just moments ago, I said there are coins that I've received for free, various method, airdrop, this, that, whatever, right? You know, launch pads and whatnot, so many different things. But I have never ever sold them, right? Only time I've sold them is if I've bought coins at the bottom or a lower price, and I've made 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, even 100%. I know some of you guys like, oh, Sham, you always talk about 10, 20%, 30%. That's the minimum threshold. There's no right or wrong. You can go and sell it for 100%. Good luck to you if it goes to 100%, right? I'm not saying not to do that, but I'm just playing a safety, right? I'm like, okay, if I've bought this coin and it's made me 10%, 20%, right? What can I risk that, you know, I'm willing to burn altogether? Well, I don't want to burn my initial as if I could help it, so I want to keep my initial, right? And if I think that I can rinse and repeat these 10% trades and make 100% over 10 trades, I might as well do that and have my initial back in my pocket, and then risk the assets that I've never paid for, right? So that's how I kind of play this game. And for me, I find it a lot more easier, much more simplistic, you know, to do this. So, you know, look at where we started, right? This video, we started with one subject, and now we're talking about something completely different. So guys, listen, I'm not going to make this any longer. I'm at my destination right now. I know the video is not informative in the beginning, and if you did have enough patience to watch me to the end, then of course, thank you very much. You did get all the information, and especially these advices that I'm giving. It's not financial advice, just a friendly advice that, guys, you know, you made money, you've done really well. This bull market's going to pay everybody, right? But whenever we pump really high, we also have to come and settle down. Remember, whenever we break through resistance zones and this and that, breaking through is, you know, happy days for everybody. But we must find a support zone, so just in case something happened, when this elastic band comes back to itself, right, we need to be able to find an area where we're going to hold support, right? And there are micro thin levels of support, and there are major supports, right? So we need to find those major support zones because they're the ones that protect us, not the thin lines, right? So that's very important. And if we don't see anything right now, we zoom in, zoom out on the charts, and we don't see any support zones, we need to play it cautiously, right? And playing cautiously means you have your stop loss, you have your trailing stops, whatever it is, have those things in place, right? And then move forward with that, right? So I hope you watch the video to the end so you can get all of this information and make a little bit of sense out of it. In the beginning, obviously, me just losing my mind as usual, right? As I said, I'm a bit hot and cold, right? 1 minute I'm all happy days, and next minute I could be all thunderstorms, right? You know, blue skies and whatnot. But that's just how I am. All right, that's just how I am. I'm just a real bloody person. I'm not putting an act on here, right? So other than that, like, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you on another one very soon. Adios, my amigos. I don't even know why I do that, by the way. I always say adios, my amigos, right? I actually say that to everybody, but I don't speak a word of Spanish apart from that one word or 2 words, right? How crazy is that? I don't actually speak Spanish at all, but I just like that word, adios, my amigos. You know, like Arnold Schwarzenegger used to say hasta la vista, right? In the Terminator movie. So that's like kind of my tagline, right? At the end of everything, I just like to say adios, my amigos. I don't even know why. Weird one, right? Now it's got me thinking. Anyway, thank you very much for watching.